I think we got a heck of a shot of winning. We beat anybody in the world, and I think we're going to win next Sunday.
All right, here's Unitas again. The pass to Richardson. He has the ball. The game is over. The New York Jets are the world champions. They have upset the Baltimore Colts and beat them handily here today. They not only defeated them, but held them. Here's Shula going over. They shut out the Jets, or the Colts, till the last 3 minutes and 19 seconds of the game.
The final snap of Super Bowl 45. The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
Both the winning and losing coach walk off with their shoulders squared and their head high. But it's Miami with a focus on Pasadena. 14-0. The Dolphins have won the championship.
Toward the end zone. It is. Seattle's going to the Super Bowl. Jermaine Kearse. A mile-high salute of the first order.
And Mike Shanahan's about ready to get wet.
Testaverde throws, incomplete. It's all over. The Broncos repeat as AFC champions, and they'll return to the Super Bowl. Play smart football and don't turn it over, and then you have the explosive players you've got. Michael, nowhere to go. And that's it. The Atlanta Falcons, NFC champions, on to Super Bowl 51.
Sanchez backpedals. Will be the final play of their season. Jones down at the 45, and this one's over. The Indianapolis Colts are the AFC champions.
San Francisco going to the Super Bowl with a big win tonight over Green Bay.
One more and it's official. The Pittsburgh Steelers are the AFC champions again.
And that's it. Tom Brady is going back to the Super Bowl, this time as a member of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Breaking news. Aaron Rodgers officially is being traded to the New York Jets.
Protection breaks down and time runs out. Down goes Rodgers and the sack for Leonard Floyd. New this year, and after spending 3 years with the Rams, the former first-round pick of the Bears, and now Rodgers sits down.
We know what happens next. But before this play began, do you know why exactly the Jets had reason to believe everything would change? What caused the Jets to go all in on a single player specifically? And would you believe that whether or not Rodgers Achilles snapped on this sack wouldn't have changed anything? Knowing all that we know now, let's look back and ask this simple question. Can you blame them? Okay, obviously, this guy right here is one of the best to ever do it. 10-time Pro Bowler, 4-time All-Pro, 4-time NFL MVP with an Offensive Player of the Year, mind you, 8-time division champion and Super Bowl champion. Second in passing yards and most passing touchdowns in Packers history. After 2022, he had the 9th most passing yards in NFL history, 5th most passing touchdowns ever, and 2nd most MVPs of all time. Rodgers then decides he wants to pack up and leave the Packers because after missing the playoffs his last year there, the year before, he loses the NFC Championship game for a 4th time in his last 4 appearances. The Jets have had a history of struggling quarterbacks, most recently with Zach Wilson.
Ball out for the season, torn ACL, bootleg. Wilson has the time, but doesn't like what he sees downfield, and now it's picked off!
The last time they made playoffs was 2010 with Mark Sanchez, in which they lost the AFC Championship game for a 4th time in their last 4 appearances. A first ballot Hall of Famer requests a trade, QB needy Jets inquire, and that's that, right? Let's understand the most crucial detail of all of this. At the time of his arrival to New York, Aaron Rodgers was 40 years old. Why would the Jets think he'd be the answer? In the rearview mirror of 2023, the Los Angeles Rams are still cleaning up confetti from 2021 after their blockbuster deal to swap quarterbacks and ask Matthew Stafford to take them to the promised land and leave with a victory. And he did in his first year. Why do they think that might work? The year before, Tom Brady packs up and leaves the Pats and signs with the QB-needy Buccaneers in 2020 and takes them to the promised land and leaves with a win in his first year. But after getting Aaron Rodgers, were the Jets ready to make a playoff run and go all the way? 2 young superstars played on either side of the ball for the Jets, Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner. Both won Rookie of the Year the same season. That had only happened twice before. There was also their promising running back Breece Hall, who was on pace for over 1,100 rushing yards and 10 touchdowns as a rookie before an ACL tear. With what appeared to be clear God-given talent, the Jets weren't willing to risk the prime seasons of their dynamic duo by waiting for a failing Zach Wilson to turn the corner and play like a franchise quarterback. So they parted ways and asked if maybe the 10-time Pro Bowler, 4-time All-Pro, 4-time NFL MVP, 1-time Offensive Player of the Year, 8-time Division Champion, Super Bowl MVP, 9th all-time passing yards, and 5th all-time passing touchdowns, Aaron Rodgers might capitalize on the tremendous gifts of Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner.
New this year, and after spending 3 years with the Rams, the former first-round pick of the Bears, and now Rodgers sits down.
And that is what's behind this play. Decades of defeat and quarterback woes cured by one of the greatest players in NFL history. Snapped just 4 plays into the dream. The season had to continue. Zach Wilson stepped up and found some surprising wins, but they were far from playoffs and had to begin anew in 2024.
Give me into the wild side of life. I'm an innocent young child, sharp as a knife. Take me to the garrets where the artists die. Show me the courtrooms where the judges lie. Let me drink deeply from the water and the wine. Light colored candles in dark dreary minds. Look in the mirror and stare at myself, and wonder if that's really me on the shelf. And each day I learn just a little bit more. I don't know why, but I do know I'm full.
They're going to get a free play. Rodgers is the master at it, and a touchdown by Lazard. Nobody in the league has thrown more touchdowns on free plays than Aaron Rodgers.
Take me down, Alice, where the murders are done. In a vast high-powered rocket to the core of the sun. Want to read books and the studies.
Bosa's still out there trying to get a sack. Here is one for a touchdown to Lazard, his second of the night.
If I was an artist who paints with his eyes, study my subject and silently cry. Cry for the darkness to come down on me, for confusion to carry.
You know, we expect greatness when we step on the field. There were moments, for sure. There were moments that felt really good, but not sustained. You know, felt like we could just get a first down, we'd be rolling. And we had those 3 and outs, which really hurt us. But I think a lot of stuff's correctable, which is great for coaches. It's frustrating for players because we know how close we were/are. But no time for that. We're going to move on to Tennessee quickly, and then we got a game 4 days after that. So this is a tough opener for us, travel-wise and schedule-wise. But no excuses. We got to play better. I got to play better.
And each day I learn just a little bit more. I don't know why, but I do know I'm full. If we're all going somewhere, let's get there soon. Oh, this song's got no title, just words and a tune.
Sadly, this was as close as they'd ever come. Just 3 games in.
Percentage in NFL history. Rodgers sacked on first. Will be eligible to return on October 17th. Rodgers rush is coming, and Rodgers goes down.
Trying to get the ball back with less than 2 minutes.
They need 10 yards. Rush coming. Rodgers is shellacked.
Rodgers, an old friend, gets him. Harrison Smith
coming in for the first time since 2016, up 7.
Rodgers is sacked. There's pace. Rodgers gets sacked. Harrison Phillips. Rodgers, quick throw, and it's intercepted. Stephon Gilmore gets the Jets again.
Then you have the way that it looked through the first 5 games. Pressure and a sack. Last play before the 2-minute warning. Rodgers buys time, airs it out. Mike Williams fell down, and it is picked by Tyron Johnson.
Desperate measures caused both the head coach and general manager to be fired. Already slipping to 2-4, the Jets realized that they needed to fix something in order to help Rodgers.
Okay, so as soon as you hear the news... What's that?
But they brought in someone, too.
Well! Here he is! Hey! Good to see you, Tay. Good to see you, man. Congrats.
What's up, fellas? Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, he was having second thoughts. He's been known to have both when it comes to pulling the trigger with me. But hopefully we can put that behind us now. And, we're back, man. We're back.
Davante Adams, Aaron Rodgers' greatest wide receiver. They combined for 8,121 yards and 73 touchdowns. Rodgers targeted Adams over 1,000 times. To say they had chemistry is an understatement. And the Jets traded for Adams to restore Rodgers' offense with that unparalleled chemistry.
To call the plays into Aaron Rodgers. Breece Hall, the back from the 22. Rodgers to the air right away. Of course to Adams. Cannot connect. And incomplete. Jets spread it out. Highsmith came around the edge. Rodgers pass is intercepted. Pulled away. Bennie Bishop, the rookie. It could be three guys, one hand. Here's Rodgers, back, sideline, sling, Wilson, intercepted! He didn't catch it, Bennie Bishop did! Bennie's got two! Bennie has almost six! He's down to the 1 yard.
Looks like they're doubling Adams.
Lazard out with the chest injury. Rodgers never had
this game.
On 2nd and 10, Rodgers sidesteps over the middle, and it is caught. Adams makes the catch, but they can't stop the clock.
Game's over.
Final seconds come off, and it is over here in Foxborough.
That is the end of the ball game.
The Jets run out of time and suffer a back-breaking loss.
Yeah. Back-breaking is right. What was happening? They had only won twice all year. And still, after 2 games reunited with Davante Adams, Aaron Rodgers was still struggling to move the football. Sitting at a miserable 2-6, the expectations came crashing down. And this Jets era with Rodgers was now infamous.
Talk about patently, thoroughly disappointing.
How much of the Jets' mess is on Rodgers?
At this point, all of it.
Who else you gonna blame it on? You running out of people to fire and demote.
The New York Jets of 2024 are one of the colossal failures in sports history. And when we talk about them in the future, all these other future failure teams, because there will be plenty of others that fail, this is the group they're going to be compared to.
The roses in the window box are tilted to one side. Everything about this house was born to grow and die.
For one half of football, the pieces fell into place, and Rodgers played as advertised. But that Week 9 game was too little, too late, and it unraveled even further.
Rodgers escapes. Rodgers football zone. Disaster for the Jets. Just wondering what's going through his mind. Rodgers blown up again. And it's
Rodgers in trouble. Can't take a sack. And he does. 5 seconds, 4, and that is how the game will end. Quiddy Pay, the exclamation point for the Colts.
Seahawks load the line and bring pressure. Rodgers has it picked up by Leonard Williams. Just the second interception of the Big Cat's career. And is he going to take it to the house? His old house. He sure is. A pick 6. And he flips the game on a huge play.
Job and Adams up top.
Here's her game. Rodgers off the back foot, launches to the end zone. It's incomplete.
This one we have to take a moment to appreciate. I have no idea how the Jets lost this game. Take a look.
Play here. Rodgers, one-on-one. It's Adams. It's a vintage Rodgers to Adams connection for the debut. After the missed kick, will deliver to D. Williams. He's got Chenault blocking for him, and return loses the ball. Weird snaps today. Little shovel pass to Isaiah Davis, and Davis, the rookie, is into the end zone. Former All-Pro kick returner for Minnesota, making his Jet debut, Kane Wanwu. He's already housed 3 of them in his career. He's going to get a block. And welcome to the Jets with a big-time return for a touchdown. Seattle special teams have been dreadful, and they continue to be, as a stumbling attempt by Laviska Shenault to recover what was already a muffed kick ends up into the hands of Anders Carlson.
21-7. The Jets had recovered 2 fumbles and returned a kickoff for a touchdown, and they lost. And they lost. And
Rodgers Possession of the block. Rodgers the time. He gets by one. That's Brooks. Then Brooks got back at him and got him. Here they come. Down he goes. Rodgers set by Sealer. Familiar territory right now. 3rd and 10 for Aaron Rodgers. Blitz is on. Curl is there. Blocked by Hall. Curl got him fumbled. It's a fumble on the play. Recovered by the Rams.
Him lining up right here has been a game changer. You have a two-way go.
2nd and 8, ball in the air and intercepted. Intercepted by Jordan.
A smooth operator in our business. Never be forgotten.
And here is the sack put up and a safety registered by the greats. 4-time MVP has a 3rd and 19. Down the field, he's picked off this time. It's Benford with his 2nd interception of the season, and he's out of bounds, chased out by Rodgers.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness.
On Rodgers?
Offense, number 8.
He left.
15-yard penalty.
I saw that.
The other run. First down, Buffalo.
He's like, I've never called.
The final tally recorded Aaron Rodgers and the Jets' 2024 season finishing a terrible 5-12. Ironically, a worse record than they had with Zach Wilson in 2023. How did it come to this? Why did it go from Lombardi aspirations to historic disappointment? Let's remember that crucial detail. At the time of his arrival to New York, Aaron Rodgers was 40. That means he was 41 in 2024. They had one shot. So did Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. And while younger, Matthew Stafford with the Rams had a window that was only open for so long for them to make a run, otherwise the move would be a failure. What was different? The 2021 Rams were made up of 5 All-Pros and 9 Pro Bowlers, and were in the Super Bowl 3 years prior, coached by the same coach that led them there, who won Coach of the Year in 2017. The 2020 Buccaneers were made up of 6 All-Pros and 10 Pro Bowlers, helmed by a 2-time Coach of the Year. Combined, the 2021 Rams players had made All-Pro 16 times and Pro Bowl 24 times. That's not counting Stafford. Combined, the 2020 Buccaneers had made All-Pro 14 times and Pro Bowl 31 times. Not counting Brady. The 2024 Jets went into the season with only 3 All-Pros and 3 Pro Bowlers besides Rodgers. They combined for 5 All-Pro appearances and 14 Pro Bowls. Tyrone Smith makes up for 2 of those All-Pro appearances and 8 Pro Bowls, but he was placed on injured reserve during this season and was outside the top 25 among all tackles in 2024, so he wasn't exactly Pro Bowl caliber anymore. After trading for Devontae Adams, count 3 more All-Pro appearances and 6 Pro Bowls, but that wasn't the plan. They didn't go get Adams when they got Rodgers. They saw they needed help and made the move to fix what was breaking. Not to mention they were coached by someone who had yet to finish with more than 7 wins in a season. Outside of Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams, this Jets team wasn't champing at the bit for a Super Bowl. Take the Pro Bowls and All-Pro stats how you like, but the truth is that this team was not one quarterback away from making a run. They still hadn't even finished with a winning record since 2015. The 2021 Rams were arguably one quarterback away from winning it all, but the Buccaneers certainly weren't. Before Brady arrived, there was only one player who had ever made All-Pro, Levante David. Yeah, Mike Evans never made it. So what did they do? How did it work with a 40-year-old quarterback then? They brought in Rob Gronkowski, Antonio Brown, and Ndamukong Suh. The team was better, not just the quarterback position. That's the difference. Many teams have pursued a veteran quarterback with a Super Bowl or 2 to their name, but the reality is that those quarterbacks are past their prime. It doesn't mean it's impossible. The pieces that need to come together are challenging and a lot to ask for, which is why when a team chooses to roll out an older quarterback, they need to be ready to win now. They've only got a couple shots at this, and then it's all over. And it was for Aaron Rodgers and the Jets in their quest for a second Super Bowl. So, to ask the question again, can you blame them? No. Why wouldn't a quarterback-starved franchise make the move for one of the greatest at the position? But there was more that needed to be done. It's a team sport. Just ask Aaron Rodgers.
Like, why is football the greatest sport on earth? And do you think football is the greatest sport on earth? And why do you like football?
I think it's the greatest sport in the world for one main reason. It is a true team sport where it is damn near impossible for one person to dominate an entire game. It is truly a sport reliant on every player on the field to do their job in order to be successful. And I think that's why at times, certain star players can get maybe too much credit and maybe too much blame on the flip side, because it does take so many players at the same time in three phases to win football games. When it comes to the love that I have for it, it's rooted, and I think like any player who's played for a long time, the love is not just about our sport, it's about competition. And I think there's nothing in the world for me that fills that need and that hole I have like competition. It's a love of going out there and going against guys and being in an environment where you know that nothing is guaranteed. And that's why I, at times, I've taken umbrage to people saying that it's easy, because it's not easy. It's never easy. And I think that's the beauty in our game, is that you see things new every single week. It's never easy. And your only thing you're guaranteed is the ability to compete. I love that aspect of it. I love competing. I love going out there and harnessing the fear of failure, where I think so many people who maybe don't love football as much, the root of that is a deep fear of failure, that you might go out there and your best might not be good enough, and that's not okay with you. Find a way to harness that, and to harness that, in my opinion, and I've said this many times, is a redefinition of what success actually is. Because success is not winning all the time, because that is damn near impossible. Success is knowing that you've done everything in your power, from a preparation standpoint, from a focus standpoint, from a performance standpoint, to achieve a win or success. And that it won't happen every time. It definitely won't happen every time. And I think our society sometimes glorifies that winning is the only thing. I mean, our one of our longtime coaches said winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. And I don't want to, argue with the great Vince too much, but I think that is an unrealistic view, and often it can cripple people who view the opposite of winning as failure, and then will never put themselves in that arena again and be willing to lay it all on the line, knowing that it might not be good enough. And I think that is true success, and that's what every great competitor does. They're willing to put in everything they got, knowing that some days it might not be good enough.
Oh,